Hey, what's up, Temple family? It's your girl Danielle J, and a special good night to all my fellow Virgin Islanders near and far. If you are local, stateside, or abroad, you don't know. You don't know VI Pride goes a long way. So we are so excited to dive into the science behind all things Chef Lani. But before we do that, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to West Gal. We are the official media sponsors of Tart Wars this year. So make sure you guys subscribe to Tempo Networks on YouTube and follow our Facebook page so you could, get exclusive access on all the activities that we have going on this year for Tart Wars. So without further ado, we're gonna hop into this interview because we want to understand the science behind all things Chef Lani. I think Chef Lani just tapped in with us, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. Wait is. Hey friend,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there. So we are so excited to have this live with you this evening. So before we, get into the science behind the cooking and all the things, we're gonna need you to take us all the way back. Before Chef Lani was Chef Lani, talk to us about the passion behind cooking, the first thing you remember cooking, all the things.
Well, I'm gonna take you back all the way to 9 years old. I would say about 2013 is when I really started in the kitchen.
Yes.
So something just ignited in me. But I would really say is that just being around the cooking and stuff like that. My grandmother, she passed away in 2007, and she did leave back a lot of stuff that she used to do. So she left back some of her hot sauce, her seasonings, and stuff like that. So just being around that and then just taking all that in, and then at 9 years old, I just popped up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I would say the first meal I ever do was chicken and Johnny cake. So
Mm.
my mother showed me how to do the Johnny cake and the chicken, how to season it properly and stuff like that with
Right.
my grandmother pound seasoning. And yeah, that's the first VI dish I ever did. And from then on, it was just
But before
cooking.
you continue, when you first do your first Johnny cake, them they flap or wait is one time in the kitchen.
It was a flop. It was hard because I will tell you this, yeah, I use baking soda instead of baking powder.
Oh
And
God.
it was a flop. It was hard and it was crunchy. Because one thing, I don't like crunchy Johnny cake, right? And it was no good. It was no good. But with practice and I continue with it get better.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, me judging because even at this big age, I sure some of we use baking soda instead of baking powder. So
Yeah, there's a huge difference, especially with Johnny cake. No baking soda in Johnny cake. I telling you, ain't that science, right?
okay. So I remember like when you first, well, I wouldn't say first started posting, but there was a time where there was like a lot of controversy around like how raw your accent is. Like, how did that really like affect you?
Um,
Well, first
oh,
off,
what's
answer that. Should I say, did it even affect you, or like, what was your initial thoughts?
so it did affect me a little bit, but before I go into the answer, right? When I did my first video, I just went in talking, right? Because I was like, I'm making a video for my VI people, so just use, just talk like it at home, like you're on the phone, explain to a cousin or auntie or something how to do Johnny cake,
Right.
right? So that was that. I posted a video, and I got a lot of traction with that video and a lot of reviews and feedback and stuff like that. And then I just continue on, making videos or whatever. And then that's when there was like a post that said, "Oh, this Crucian Cook that is posting sound force. His accent sound force."
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay." And
Right.
then, I got into the comments and the shares and stuff like that. And I saw all the rude comments and stuff like that. And it did affect me because I was like, okay, this is a VIP people. I feel a little betrayed. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, um, my cousin, Shalimar Tall, and I don't know if she down here, big up yourself.
Yeah,
Hi.
they go to Shalimar.
Yes. She gave me a lecture and was like, listen,
Hmm.
when you gonna if you're gonna start this content creating thing, you're gonna have a lot of negative comments, a lot of negative stuff coming your way, and all you got to do is just ignore it, block
Yeah.
them, and move on.
Yeah.
And same thing my mother tell me to block them and move on and continue what you're doing. So it did affect me, but
Hmm.
and I didn't want to kind of like slow it down a little bit with the accent and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is who I be. Like, ain't nobody gonna change me.
Yeah.
So yeah. So but now when I see any comments like that, I was like, it's whatever. It's I'm not the
Exactly.
problem. They are.
It's so ironic. I mean, first things first, I want to acknowledge your strength because especially being on VI Facebook. I know TikTok is like a whole different planet over there, but on VI Facebook you really have to have a strong back. And I think like even sometimes when I've seen your responses to a lot of like the negative feedback, like your accent being forced, or they're not thinking that it's a real accent, like you just using that to your advantage to get like traction or whatever the case is, you are always like so graceful about it. Like usually most people when they get negative feedback, especially from VI Facebook, is like, all right, it's up. So I really want to commend you on like how you even dealt with that. What would you say is like two ingredients that you cannot cook without?
Ooh, I would say garlic and thyme. Well,
Garlic,
no, not thyme. I would say sweet pepper.
sweet pepper, really? So a lot
Yes.
of like your Virgin Islands delicacies, they have sweet pepper in it.
Yeah, garlic and sweet pepper. Sweet
Okay.
seasoned pepper. Yes.
And what would you say is like your most favorite thing to cook? Like you could close your eyes and cook it.
Ooh, let me see. Definitely Johnny Cake. I go freestyle.
What's Johnny
I
Cake?
go
The inclusive Johnny Cake or the real Johnny Cake?
the real one.
The real one?
I go freestyle, I could measure,
Mhm.
I could just, but then also I could probably do like, let me see, a good pata rice.
Season rice?
Seasoned rice? Yeah,
Season rice.
seasoned rice. Not white rice, because with white rice, I kind of funny with that. I have to
Mhm.
measure with that. That's the tricky one there. I
Really?
could, yes,
It's so ironic. I remember a couple, probably months ago, it had a big debate about like people putting all kind of thing in white rice. So do you
yeah.
believe like white rice should just be the basic oil, salt, and that's it, or you gotta put it
That's,
extra?
to each his own, right? But,
Disclaimer.
right, to each his own, but with white rice is salt, oil, and your water. That's
Hmm.
it. You understand?
Well, a lot of people will be saying, I cannot think
I
butter.
know, I see. But I mean, butter is an exception. Butter is an
Yeah,
exception.
it is.
I will agree with butter, right? But when it come down to like
Seasoning.
chicken stack, my mind was blown when I saw that. But again, to each his own, do what you want.
Do what you
It's
want.
your it,
It's yours.
it's your pot. It's your
You want
kitchen,
Chef
right?
Lani gonna give you the recipe and do what you will with it.
Yeah.
So Ward on Strand Street is, Chef Lani is very handsome, the boy is talented, you got a few sweet thing in your pocket. Like, what's tea on that? Because my people them down in West tell me that Chef Lani gets sweet things, so don't even bother.
Well, your people I'm like, I mean, you know something. I say, girl. And that's funny, when I was on TikTok the other day, a
Mhm.
bunch of females were telling me if I single, if I look, and I was like, no, not really. And the reason why, because try and set up myself, solidify
Right,
myself
right. He's
first.
trying to establish himself. So, but the people them down in Strand Street had wrong news. So
Yeah, they had the wrong news.
you heard it first here on Temple. He is single and building his empire. So be on the lookout. But speaking of which, you could be with a woman that can cook.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I want to cooking.
All the cooking. So what if
Yeah.
in fact she like she turn up her nose at some of the things that you do in the kitchen? Or what if she's a stateside girl that's like she don't like Virgin Islands food? Would that be a deal breaker for you?
I can't date outside my culture. So,
Oh, you see, you heard it first. So that don't
but
rule
if
out a lot of people.
but no, if it was like a American, I would be like, okay, I guess. But I mean, I could do American food too.
I mean, yeah, but you don't say you dating outside your culture, so that they don't shut.
But
What if you?
and it's to say like I when I cooking, I don't like nobody in the kitchen. Like
Mm,
the kitchen, that's my place. That's where I just go to escape reality. That's all right. So
mhm.
it's like if I feel like you in the kitchen, I feel like you invading my space,
Right.
and I don't just feel that type of way. Like I just need you out.
Out.
Okay.
Exactly. I
I
think
mean, unless I tell you to go in there, right? If I
mhm.
want your help cooking something, I gonna call you. Don't come by yourself. Let me call you first,
Right.
right?
But I
Even
think
anybody that was cooking with have seen me cook could
mhm.
tell you. I just get like kind of, and I don't want to be mean, but I just can't help it. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I don't
so
think that's being mean because I think that's generic across like our grandmothers, our auntie, mother. Everybody feel the same way. Like once they're in the kitchen, you can't be in the kitchen at the same time. It got too much energy going on. It's your stamping
yeah.
ground. So,
Mhm. No hand in the pot. Don't come lift up no cover. I'll churn
no,
outside.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I did see that you are the official ambassador for Tart Wars. We are going to be the official media sponsor. So congratulations. I'm so excited for you. So tell us a little bit about what the people can expect when you touch down at Tart Wars.
Ooh, well, I'm excited. This is
Yeah.
my first, journey being an ambassador and stuff like that. So what I could expect? So I am going to be in Tatars selling some
Okay. What
goodies.
are some things that you're going to be selling?
So I want to do some gooseberry stew.
Are you hearing this?
Punks.
You won't have to wait
They
till.
hearing that? Punk season. A lot of people been asking about the punk season in the comments and they messaging me on Messenger and stuff. So
Yeah.
punk seasoning. And a couple other stews like tamarind and mango. And then I might do some tarts. Well, not might, it's tarts. Why? So I got to do
You got to
tarts.
do tats.
Right. Guava for the win. And we ain't
Mhm.
cheating this year about coconut, right?
Hello, disclaimer. Let's pause and let's have a moment of silence. This is a public disclaimer. No guava slander will be tolerated on this page, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We don't tolerate guava slander. We don't deal with the dried coconut people them, and of course pineapple Mino. Them they heading too good because I don't see an article and consortium with the coconut man. I don't know if you see that. But definitely. So you guys heard you will be selling tarts, of course. You got a gooseberry stew. You said tamarind soup
Yeah.
and
Sometimes.
seasoning, correct. So make sure you guys check out Chef Lani. He will be at the Temple Network's booth down at Tart Wars to sell those things, and you don't have to wait till fair. Okay, he's gonna be there. We also are gonna have a live demonstration of how to make tarts. So make sure you guys
Yes.
check that out and you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page so you guys could get access to that live coverage. Again, shout out to West Gyal. So I did want to ask you, what do you want your legacy to look like, Lani? Like when it's all said and done, what do you want out of this?
Definitely want people to remember me, right? And then I also said like remember me, but remember where my influence come from, which is my mama them, my great grandmother and my grandmother. Um and just remember me and Chef Lani, the Crucian Rican cook that separated Puerto Rican food from Crucian food and educated people on what Crucian food is, and also just brought the Virgin Islands to the world and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting. I think even though that's what you want your legacy to look like, you've already done an exceptional job of like leaving your mark and your footprint, not only like digitally, but I think like so many people worldwide. VI Pride is like all over. You can't go anywhere. and you're not going to find a Virgin Islander. So the fact that you have brought so many people together, like through your food and just, I think it's the way that you cook as well, and the way that you talk in your videos, like how you explain things so simple. It was very needed. So I just even want to say I appreciate you because you're like me can what did I say? Ton fungi. So
Yeah, Tom
if my
Fuji.
future husband is looking, we're learning.
Chef
But
Lani gonna teach her.
yeah, yeah. So, I watch a lot of videos and stuff, but so now that the people have tapped in with this exclusive interview, is there anything that you want your fans to know to get the first tidbits on what's next for Chef Lani?
Yes, so there will be AIN A Science merch. So
Mm,
lots of people been saying to
see?
do merch, and I listened to Ayo. I won't ignore Ayo. I was listening and taking notes and working on it. So there will be some chef AIN A Science. I almost forgot my slogan there. AIN A Science merch. So you can even expect to see some of that at Tart Wars.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Ooh, I gotta get my shot. So what kind of
Yes.
merch are you gonna have? Shirts, socks, hats, what?
So we're gonna have some shirts and hats.
Okay.
Mhm.
So y'all better be on the lookout. Things going up, this thing moving fast. So make sure you guys lock in with Chef Lani. If you guys are new here, tell the people where they could follow you.
So you guys can follow me on Facebook, Shalani Springer. I'm also on TikTok as the no, not the Crujan Rican, but the Crujan recipe plug. Cause that's where you can find me for all the recipes. Also on my Facebook page as Shalani Springer. I'm also on Instagram at Crujan_340.
Yes. And of course, on Temple, you guys will be seeing him a lot because he's one of our ambassadors as well. So anything that he does, we'll be sharing. And we will see you at Tatuaz. Remember, guava.
Guava for the
Guava.
win.
Guava for the win. If it ain't guava, then that's the only real tat, to be honest.
Right.
As one
That's the
of
official tag.
and
That
one
was
of
the
you lose your mind, so.
yeah. That was the first tag that met her. Guava
Correct.
tag. I
Correct.
don't know where pineapple come from. And somebody said they ain't like guava tart, so they come up with coconut tart.
Pineapple or even, what I mean, getting into that. Me gonna get into it because I don't get real passionate about my guava tart, you understand? So
But let me tell you, right? You have to find the right coconut tart from the right person,
yeah,
right?
because everybody
So
can't cook coconut tarts.
yeah.
No.
So when you come in Tatois and you try my coconut tart, you're gonna understand what I try and say, right? In my humblest voice, cause my coconut tart them moist. And I don't post a lot of videos showing how you. Right? Okay.
Okay, you better tag Lani. Okay. He just putting that out there, ladies
That's
and
what I hold there, right? Yeah.
gentlemen. Well, don't forget that we feast on our history over here and in a science, correct?
In a
So make
science.
sure you guys go ahead and share this live, and don't forget that we will be at Tart Wars this July. So we look forward to seeing all you guys there, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
All right, see you, Lonnie.
See you. Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Bye.